It's finally Friday. It's Friday, Friday.
Thank God it's
Welcome back to the Friday Show, presented by DRF Bets. I'm Scott Jagow, along with Ray Paulick. Ray, we're going to talk about Frank Stronach's latest $12 million idea. But first, there was this little race in Kentucky last weekend. Nyquist over Exaggerator, over Gunrunner, over Mohaymen, the top four choices in the betting in order. It's also the fourth year in a row that the Derby favorite has won. So what do you make of that?
Well, the first four betting choices finishing 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order, that's really unusual. But as far as four consecutive betting favorites, I think it all evens out in the end. We went 20 years in the 80s and 90s without any favorites winning the Kentucky Derby. So if you have four in a row, it just evens things out.
I suppose, but I think the point system might have something to do with this four-year trend in that you have less possible chaos in the Derby because you have more horses that belong and can go a mile and a quarter. And so I think the point system might be a contributing factor.
Yeah, but there wasn't chaos in this year's Derby, but there was a really fast pace. And Nyquist didn't seem to be bothered by it. He chased the pace very closely, went and he won as he pleased. I mean, he was the best horse.
Yeah, but he did exhibit that trait that I've been talking about all the way through the Derby prep season, that he has a natural cruising speed, similar to American Pharoah and California Chrome, that California speed, if you will, the ability to get out of the gate, establish position, go at a high rate of speed while still being relaxed. And I think that helped him compensate for the questions about his pedigree at a mile and a quarter. And I think it also makes him extremely dangerous in the Preakness.
10 of the last 20 Kentucky Derby winners have gone on to win the Preakness, which is a little surprising. I would have thought it was higher than that. I was willing to concede the Preakness to him as soon as he crossed the finish line. I thought, well, this horse can win the Preakness. But only 10 out of 20, that surprised me a bit.
Well, some of those horses that you're talking about lost the Derby, but then won the Preakness, and then they went on to win the Belmont, like Fleet Alex. Right. So there were good horses that just didn't get the trip in the Derby. And I think this race is going to come down to Exaggerator trying to catch Nyquist again. This will be the fifth time they meet, and I love the fact that this rivalry is developing. It's going to be an exciting finish in Baltimore. We'll be there next week, and we'll talk more about it. But right now, Frank Stronach is at it again.
But it's California Chrome in front. It's Alchemy in Dubai. Chrome turns to gold.
Well, Ray, just a few weeks ago, California Chrome won the world's richest race in Dubai. But wait a minute, he might have the opportunity at the beginning of next year to run an even richer race. We've got to talk about Frank Stronach's latest idea.
Yeah, the $12 million Pegasus World Cup has got a date, January 28, 2017. He's looking for 12 owners to put up $1 million each. 12 people, you don't have to be an owner, to put up $1 million each to run your horse or anybody's horse if you can cut a side deal in a race. It's a weight for age contest, £5 allowance for horses running without Lasix, which I think is really interesting.
I think that's one of the most intriguing aspects about this. And I also like the idea that anyone can buy this slot and then work out a deal with someone with a horse. So that's a new concept in the racing game. And I think people are already jumping all over this idea as being dumb without giving it a chance, which is so typical of people in this industry, and instead of waiting to see what might happen. I think there's the possibility this could be a total flop. I also think it could be a brilliant idea. So let's wait and see. They're going forward with it. Let's see what happens.
That's right. Jack Wolf of Starlight Racing has been named the CEO. He and Tom Lute, former Stronach Group exec, are recruiting owners for it. I know they've got several already committed to it. They feel like they can get it done by the end of June. I think the critical number is at least 10 starters. And if they don't get it done by August 31st, they said it's not going to happen. But they think they can do it. We'll have to wait and see.
At least it's a new idea that's out there. At least Stronach is trying something. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Friday Show presented by DRF Bets. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week from Baltimore.